The original sex symbol of video games makes a comeback in Crystal Dynamics' reboot to the franchise as a younger, naive Lara Croft in Tomb Raider. Will this origin story live up to the legacy, or will Lara's first adventure be her last?
Hey everybody, welcome back to the GamerNerdz. I'm Voyce.
I'm Manny.
We're going to be reviewing Crystal Dynamics' retake, or shall I say reboot, of Tomb Raider.
Who else is the star of the story? None other than Lara Croft and her crew. Whitman, Sam, Roth. They're in search of a mysterious Japanese island, Yamatai, in search of relics and facts on the existence of Sun Queen Himiko. Get lost during the way while sailing through Dragon's Triangle, which is kind of like the Bermuda Triangle. Get shipwrecked on the island, and all hell breaks loose from there.
This is obviously an origin story. You're playing as a much younger Lara. She's 21 years old, and actually I was really surprised at just how much of an emotional storyline this one actually was.
You're right, it is a new perspective on Lara's story. It's very much more personal now on the development of her character.
Exactly, it's pretty much like a Batman Begins of the Tomb Raider franchise. When the game starts off, you're playing as Lara. She's obviously lost, she's scared, she's shipwrecked on this island with these crazy inhabitants and out of her elements, and you get to see her go from that noobish character to become, as the game progresses, the character that we've grown to love. Crystal Dynamics keeps using this slogan, a survivor is born, and honestly by the end of the game, it's true.
She is a natural survivor. I'm gonna point out what I did not like about the story. You do learn much about Lara, but her crew, you don't learn much about. The only character you'd probably get more of a tie to would be Roth, because he was good friends with her father.
Actually, I'm gonna disagree. Initially, when I first started playing the game, this is really Lara's story, and I kind of felt like the other characters played a backdrop and they didn't really have any point in being there. But then, as the game progresses, they eventually start showing their characters. You kind of start to see the reaction of these characters under these situations, and it becomes somewhat of a psychological story for them. It doesn't go that deep into it, but personally, I do feel that the game tried.
They shoved them in at the end. Like I said, Roth and Sam are two key other characters in the story, but the story's well done on Lara's end. The memoirs you do pick up about her and her father are great as well. 2 thumbs up for that.
A lot of people are going to draw parallels to this game and Uncharted, and in many ways they're right. At the end of the day, Uncharted did borrow from Tomb Raider initially, so it's only natural that Tomb Raider will now take from Uncharted. But from a story's point of view, it kind of follows that same kind of pattern. The whole story about looking for Yamatai, I personally just felt it was kind of like a backdrop. I didn't really care that much about that aspect of it. For me, what really drove the story was Lara's evolution. Everything else was just kind of put in place just so that you can get to know Lara. So anyway, listen, from my point of view, Tomb Raider's story was fantastic. I loved it. It was more about a character evolution for Lara Croft. So for me, good stuff.
2 thumbs up for the story.
All right, let's get into the gameplay of Tomb Raider. Now, again, I did bring up the whole Uncharted parallelism. And no, you can't deny the fact that this game borrowed a lot from Uncharted.
But I don't care about Uncharted. Every action adventure borrowed from something else.
Yeah.
For people like me, who are not mainly action adventure game players, will enjoy it. I don't care if it resembles Uncharted combos like in Batman, but I don't care if you could jump down on enemies like in Assassin's Creed.
But see, if you let me finish, you'd realize that I was gonna say that it draws parallels to Uncharted, but it adds things to itself that make it stand out on its own. Yeah, just like in Uncharted, there's a heavy influence on exploration, there's a heavy influence in combat, even the way the guns handle. But what this game brings forward is this kind of open world thing that it has going on, and a very RPG-esque elements. You can upgrade your gear, gain new attributes.
You can upgrade your guns by picking up salvage, loot enemies, destroy little crates.
And it just says you obtained like 250 salvage points, or salvage. And I'm just like, what did you find? But you know what? It doesn't matter, because I actually preferred the way it was implemented, because I'm really not a big fan of games where you have to go find things like feathers and find bolts. You find crates, salvage points. You loot, salvage points. And you just use the salvage points to upgrade your gear. It's straightforward, it's streamlined, it's simple. It doesn't make much sense, but I appreciate it because it doesn't take out of the gaming experience.
One thing that they did borrow, like you said, they like borrowing from other games. They borrowed the survival instincts, which was a view that we had in Hitman, Square Enix connection. Some of the weapons, like the shotgun, I wasn't too fond of, even though if you're supposed to use it often, it was, I find, unbalanced. I was playing the game on the hardest difficulty. Either they made the enemies really hard to kill, or it just took many shotgun bullets because it wasn't strong enough to kill people.
Listen, this is how you use a shotgun. Wait for enemies to get close enough, blast them dead. If you're like shooting an enemy who's like 5 miles away with a shotgun, it might not be as effective. That's why you have a pistol and a assault rifle and a bow.
The bow is the strongest weapon in the game and the most enjoyable to use.
In Tomb Raider, you really can play anyhow you want to play. You can be guns crazy and just go running in and just gun blaze everyone. Or you can use the bow, which I love to do, and just take out enemies from far. First Crisis 3, now this. Everyone's obsessed with bows. But listen.
Bows are the new Twilight, I'd say.
Why did I compare it to Twilight. Now I don't want to play with a bow anymore.
A cool fact about the game that I did enjoy, especially in the gameplay, is the environment. It is really immersive, it is grandiose. I like using that word, that's my new word, grandiose. You have zip lines that you can rappel down, mountains you could climb up, jumping from left to right. The land is very robust, and Lara really takes a beating because of the environment.
Lara gets beat up completely. They actually make her go through so much pain. Poor girl, man. No wonder she becomes all tough at the end. I would too.
She dies in some of the cruelest ways in this game, and you get to see it's almost like fatalities. Make sure you die on purpose to check these out.
If there's one thing I did not like about the gameplay,
I know what it is.
quick time events.
Oh, I knew it.
I just don't like quick time events. 1 second you're pressing X, 1 second you're pressing Y, and you're pressing L and R to climb something. I was just like, ah. And there's a lot of quick time events, but it is integrated well though.
They're well integrated.
They're well integrated, so it's still fun to do it.
Something that's great and doesn't feel forced onto during the gameplay are your puzzles and your optional tombs.
I do feel this game does spend a little less time on puzzles. There's more of a focus on combat and exploration. But the puzzles that you do have are more physics-based. I like the fact it doesn't take you out of the game experience.
Something that was a little over-exaggerated in the game were some of the leaps that Lara could take. And I'm not talking about the ones in cinematics, I'm talking about actual gameplay leaps. She jumps, but like she flies. She's like Superwoman.
And again, I'm gonna bring up Uncharted, even they're gonna be like, ugh. In Uncharted, when Nathan Drake makes a huge leap and it's like an impossible jump, he kind of just flails his arms. That's kind of what Lara does in this, and you're like, of course she made that jump, but we all know in real life that she just plummeted to her death and died.
I'm not talking about real life, I'm just talking about the game. When she jumps, it just looks like she's fucking flying. That's it.
Tomb Raider experience from a gameplay point of view is fantastic.
Moving on to multiplayer gameplay, a little bit unfortunate that it's not better than it is. It is enjoyable, I would say, for the first 10 minutes, but after that, I was done with it. A little clunky. Cool thing about the gameplay are the traps that you could set, which I really enjoyed and liked.
Very like Uncharted, but I do like the fact that a lot of the things you could do in the single player in Tomb Raider, you can pretty much do in the multiplayer. So I like the fact you can still climb shit, you can use your bow. I actually did have fun with Tomb Raider's multiplayer, but just like you know, one of the things you play once and then you're just like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rank up or anything in that.
All right, let's get into the way the game looks and sounds.
All I could say is that ass.
I do like the fact that she's more toned down, she's more realistic now. It's not like the old Tomb Raider where she had like giant boobs. By the way, those of you who don't know, the whole giant boobs was a mistake.
For real?
Yes, it was.
Thank you, you just taught me something.
It's a programming error. 1 second you're in these really green, lush environments, and then another place, dark,
up in the mountains,
rain. No matter where you are, it just looks stunning.
They use like great cinematic filters that you see in actual movies today. It really brings a like vibrancy to the actual footage that you're looking at.
The way the characters actually look, Lara Croft, obviously hot as hell.
Badass.
The other characters, like her shipmates, I didn't really care much for the design of them, apart from Sam. Everyone else was kind of blur.
No, they were kind of like Ubisoft.
Yeah, it's very true.
Very Ubisoft.
Very Ubisoft. Yeah. If you really do pay attention, you will notice that the enemies repeat themselves over and over and over. Listen, you'll be having so much fun taking them down and watching things explode and going through insane set pieces that you wouldn't even give a shit.
The environment is what I'd say the star player with Lara.
Lara Croft's voice actor. You may know her, Camilla Luddington, who is so hot.
That ass.
Camilla, I'm gonna keep tweeting you until you tweet me back. I'm just saying.
That ass.
Voice production. She did provide the voiceover work as well as the mocap.
There is a little mini series on how they actually worked on the game and see how the actress herself really devoted herself to Lara's role.
The music at the beginning of the game was just amazing.
They actually crafted and created instruments for sound effects, which immerse you and plunge you in once more into the universe of Yamatai Island.
So all in all, the Tomb Raider story, the whole Yamatai backdrop really didn't do that much impress me, but in terms of the way they evolved Lara Croft's character, fantastic. The gameplay is a lot of fun. It borrows a lot from Uncharted, brings new things. In terms of the way the game looks and sounds, it's fantastic. Camilla Luddington, call me.
Lara is the new sexy survivor and gaming icon in 2013. The story was fantastic. Gameplay was just amazing. Multiplayer, meh. But I know it's a little early and I'm saying it now. This might quite be my pick for game of the year. And by the way, call me, Camille.
No, Camilla, call me maybe.
Call me. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in to the GamerNerdz. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section below of what you thought of Tomb Raider.
By the way, who did you agree with? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Manny? By the way, his sister worked on the game, so he's kind of biased. Shout out to your sister.
Shout out, Natasha.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We'll see you next time on
GamerNerdz. We're out.
It's gonna hurt.
Africans, man. They're doing big things in the world today.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Oh man, the heat. Okay, well, I'm actually fucking sweating.
In case you guys think we're being racist, I'm Nigerian, so I can do this shit.